Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So it was a weird day for TikTok. Everybody was under the impression that today was the day and it was going to get banned, and sure enough, a lot of people did wake up to see that they were locked out of their app. And while this should have been limited to the United States only, some users in Canada also noticed the same message. However, at the point of recording, less than 12 hours after the ban took place, it's been unbanned. It's back on your marketplace this time. But the in between was pretty strange. Depending on how early you saw your banned message, you may have noticed the language on it. Initially, the message was pretty generic, stating, "We regret that a US law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19 and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore service in the US as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned." Nothing strange about that. Kind of figured that's how it would be. But if you woke up a little later in the day, that message had changed. Most of you saw this one. The first paragraph is very similar. However, the second paragraph has been altered to say we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Now, I know the joke is that TikTok ruined everybody's attention spans and memories, but some of us do remember that this talk of TikTok being banned, the whole reason we're here today, is because back in 2020, the US government, which was headed by President Donald Trump at the time, announced that they were considering banning TikTok. Of course, the argument towards this has always been that it's a national security threat because it's owned by ByteDance, a Chinese company, and because they don't share their algorithm and they don't share their data with the United States. It's only shared within China. Logging into the app at this time, of course it's unbanned, will show you a different message. Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the US. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. I just find it very strange that this is thanks to President Trump's efforts. Not in the way that some libs and lefties are saying it because they're calling him President Trump and he hasn't been sworn in yet. It's not the 20th. But the only thing Trump has done to voice his support for not banning TikTok is giving lip service into not banning TikTok in the last few months. He said it a few times in interviews. He's made a few posts on his Truth social media account saying free TikTok or unban TikTok, however it was. Meanwhile, the people who hold the power right now, the current administration, said they weren't going to uphold any bans. So just to take this all the way back from where we began, in 2020, the Donald Trump presidential administration started talks that they wanted to ban TikTok because they said it was a national security risk. Congress, at the point of voting on this legislation, was Republican led. The Supreme Court upheld the ban unanimously, 9-0. I know there are a few lib Supreme Court justices, and I know they're not supposed to be partisan, but it is majority conservative on the Supreme Court right now. So this is all conservatives who have been working towards this ban, and the administration who's in power while the ban is taking place said they weren't going to enforce the ban if it came on his desk, or, however presidential terms they want to put it. But as a result of President Trump's efforts, it's back in the USA. Now, on the one hand, I am glad that the app is not going to be banned, mostly because of all the people who make money through it, specifically the ones who make it through ad revenue, not merchandise or anything like that. All the meta apps, Facebook, Instagram, their reels, their shorts that they do over there, those aren't monetized, not in the same way that TikTok was. And as much as people will say there is a genuine concern about data not being in the hands of US companies and being in the hands of our enemies in China, most people have put together at this point that this has nothing to do with the countries involved and it has everything to do with the companies who are making money off of this, or rather, who can take away money from the people who are providing content to their platforms. Meta famously cut payments to their shorts providers and their reels makers in March of 2023 once the TikTok ban started really getting underway legislatively. So you can say whatever you want about national security risks, and if that makes you feel better, fine. But I think in this instance, it would be wise for you to track the money. You can see which of your Congress people voted which way and which of your senators voted what way and which stocks they recently bought. There's a lot of money in social media, and with any publicly traded company, we all can recognize they're only interested in increasing shareholder value, not necessarily paying the people who they consider a product. Even though they're responsible for driving traffic to your platforms, they would rather keep all of that ad revenue to themselves. And as far as the thanking Donald Trump stuff, I'm just reminded of when the stimulus checks rolled out, and some people use that as their justification for voting for him in 2024 because he gave us a stimmy check, even though those checks were only rolled out because of a Democrat led House and Senate. So I guess it feels bad that I was right how gullible people can be. But I'm sure you saw this coming. This app wasn't going anywhere. After all, nothing ever happens. And I guess until nothing ever happens again, y'all try to have a good day.